Bluff City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show with your host, Anthony Sain. Now, let's get to the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Anthony Sain Show. My name is Kenny Stubblefield. I'm all the way over here in the great city of Carway, and according to Anthony, the safest neighborhood. Do you know the story of why he says that?
Is it because of your neighbor with the Confederate flag? Is that why?
Yeah, like he puts up the Confederate flag when we have houses for sale, so he keeps out people he doesn't want in the neighborhood. So it's the neighborhood watch in the back of our neighborhood. This is my neighbor that I live literally next door to. It's crazy, but safest neighborhood. We got Jared Davidson over here to my left, to my right, whichever one it is. Jared, you're in Martin, Tennessee, hanging out over there. What's the weather like over there today, man?
About 40s. Just cloudy. Sun's trying to peek out. It's been cold as all get out up here recently, so I'm happy it's starting to warm up a little bit. Yeah, but I mean, it feels really good outside today. Like after the cold, I feel like I could walk outside in shorts and a t-shirt after it being 8 degrees when I woke up on Sunday morning.
Oh my gosh, yesterday was so cold. Today was better. There are going to be a lot of people who ask this question. Man, who this? This is Jared Davidson. Jared is always in the comment section. Jared does a lot of work for Bluff City Media. He did the post-game bounce last night. He does No Bluffing podcast on Monday nights. He's on the Daily Grind. He's on the $2 Sport. He's on all the – he's kind of the guy that we call and we say, hey, bro, you ready? And he comes on and does work with us. Anthony had to call out last minute, so he's not here today. So I called Jared and I said, Jared, I need you, my guy. Come on. But Jared is the nerd in the comment section, always posting stats and things like that for the Anthony Sain Show. So we are glad to have you on today, brother. It's good to see you. How's everything going over there in Martin, Tennessee?
Man, it's going good. Car is currently getting needs a little work. And no one, I work at Dyersburg State, I work at a community college, and no one's there right now. It's what people say it's like the liberal holiday the week before Christmas. No one's at work.
Yeah.
So, I took this afternoon. I need to really go get an oil change on my car, but took the afternoon working from home. So I have that luxury. So we're doing pretty well. So I was able to come home and actually do it at my home office where I actually sound a little bit better than I would have at work. But no, we're doing pretty good, my man. How about you?
Absolutely, dude. I'm doing great, man. Listen, Chris Anthony said we called him up from the hustle. Let me tell you though, Jared's not a hustle player. Jared is like the guy who, if there's anybody that actually does microphone work for a living, it's Jared Davidson. Jared, Tell him what you do, man. You do play-by-play, right?
Yeah, I do play. So for high school football, I do a little bit of basketball here and there now. I had to take a step back from doing basketball with my new job. Yeah, I do play-by-play broadcasting for high school sports up here in Northwest Tennessee, this small corner. Hopefully, I'm trying to later on in this new job implement that with Dyersburg State. But yeah, I do a lot of game calling, behind the mic, a lot of production audio work as well, with my new current job as well. So yeah, it's just anywhere and everywhere, whether it's behind a mic, in front of a camera, behind a camera, anywhere production. That's kind of my main full-time gig.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I mean, like Jared is the John Conchar of Bluff City Media. And Frank, once again, next man up, ain't it? Ugly ass. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. All right, man, we got to get to it, though. We got a lot to talk about. You were on the post-game bounce last night with Evan Hayes, late 12:30 at night, gosh. I think is when it started. It was like
when we went off at 12:30.
12:30. Good Lord, it was a late night. Grizzlies got the dub 121-103 against the Clippers last night. Man, let's go. We're gonna dive deep into some of the actual player stats and their impact in the game. But I wanted to go 30,000-foot view for the Grizzlies for a second, just after this game as a team. This was a beatdown that we hadn't seen the Grizzlies really have many of this season so far. But this is pretty much a belt to ass type of game, right?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. We haven't seen it since the Pacers earlier this year,
right?
Where we truly, that game was a larger margin, the lead got away from us a little bit in the third quarter, but it just felt like a game where we had a stranglehold on from the jump. We started hot, stayed hot, and just controlled the entire pace of the game. The Clippers tried to go into their slowest pace in the league that they always do and just find their shot, slow everything down, do ISO ball. And the Grizzlies started forcing their hand with that defense and make them play faster, which is how you beat the Clippers. Not hard to beat the Clippers right now. So, I mean, it's just one of those things, man. Like, this Grizzlies team starting to trend better in any aspect. So,
yeah, it's interesting. I want to talk about the Clippers for 1 second. They're such an interesting team to me because, like, coming into the season, they had we called in the AARP Avengers. They brought in all the old dudes. They're the oldest team in the league by far, right? They have Kawhi Leonard. They have James Harden. They had Bradley Beal. Chris Paul was on the team for a little bit. Brooke Lopez is on the team. They just got a bunch of old dudes on this team.
And Brooke Lopez is getting DNPs right now.
Yeah, like it's so weird. They obviously lost Bradley Beal to a season-ending injury. Kawhi has been actually playing quite a few more games than what you would expect out of him. He had 37 minutes last night. Kawhi is just a ball player, man. He's so good. But what do you make of this Clippers team, man? Ty Lue is in my opinion, Ty Lue is one of the better coaches in the NBA. They have a roster full of dudes who have done this at a high level for multiple years, multiple other teams. They're older, but age in the NBA is a weird thing. Like it can be detrimental or it could be like in the playoffs a saving grace.
Yeah.
But they're 6-20 on the year. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, bro. They have not looked against the Grizzlies in particular, 3 games. The Grizzlies have beat them 3 times this year already. They have not looked really competitive at all. Like, what do you make of the LA Clippers?
I really don't know what to make of them because, like you just said, everything they have a bunch of dudes, especially on their front 5, who are really good and have really good pass. James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Zubac, come on. John Collins was really good in Utah, really good in Atlanta as well. And now we're kind of starting to see him take that fall from grace from being that coveted trade target to now we seeing what he is on a team that's supposed to be contending. This team has no depth because the whole reason we beat them the first 2 times was simply because their starters outplayed our starters. Our bench came in, which is the best bench in the league, averaging about 55 points a game, came in and dominated their bench. And just they don't have dudes after that first 5. And they have a lot of veterans, and the one veteran presence that wanted to try to win, they let go. So it's hard to find any kind of makeup construction of this team. I mean, you have some young guys like Kobe Brown. I'm looking at the age of the roster right now. They have someone else, Cam Christie, but he's rookie. I forgot Bogdan Bogdanovic was on this freaking team until last night. He's only 33. He's 33, but Zubac is only 28. They have decent young pieces in Kobe Sanders as well. The 2 Kobes are pretty decent, but they haven't obviously they're not developing any right now because they're just, I don't know. It's just hard to find a makeup of this team when it's guys who look good name-wise, but then you get past them, and it's just who the heck are any of these guys that haven't proven themselves at all?
Yeah, like last night off the bench, Jordan Miller played 22 minutes. Kobe Brown played 25. Kobe Sanders played 13.
One of the Kobe's had 20 against us last time.
I think it was Kobe Sanders because Kobe Brown is the big kid who all he does, he's a physical body, a big body young kid, but literally all he does is stand on the 3-point line and shoot threes. There just doesn't seem to be a lot of real definable roles with this team whatsoever. And with a bunch of veteran presence guys like they have, you would think that would be something they'd be able to fix pretty quickly. Yeah. Maybe it's so crazy to me. As much of a Chris Paul hater as I am, I'm not a fan of Chris Paul whatsoever. It sounds like to me there was a level of he kind of saw the writing on the wall, right? Of what this team lacks and was willing to call out Ty Lue about it because it doesn't feel like Ty Lue's really engaged at all in trying to help this team win games right now.
It feels like Ty Lue, who is, like we said, is a really good NBA coach. He has a ring to his name. This group that he has right now, he doesn't look like he enjoyed coaching. Now, shout out to the FanDuel Sports Network production crew having a camera on him pretty much all night. And every time you looked over there, he's not standing on the bench. He's not like trying to coach or anything. He's just sitting there on the bench, giving you this direct, dead stare straight out. This 1,000-yard stare. And you're like, what happened to Ty Lue? It doesn't help that your best player and James Harden is trying to play through a calf injury and help this team win as well. You saw him last night hobbling a lot as well. Right. Kawhi Leonard is fragile as can be and broken parts at this point. I just don't think Ty Lue has a group that he really cares about pouring into right now. And I think that's a two-way street because the players seem to only want to get theirs. Kenny, if you watched a lot of their offense last night in the half court, it's isolation ball.
Yeah, it's 100% what it is, which is why a guy like Kobe Brown who comes in and shoots 8 3-pointers in 25 minutes and makes one of them, like that just is not sustainable for this Clippers team.
No.
And what's great, Jalen says, Ty Lue paid, he ain't tripping on nothing. That's the truth. Like the man's paid. But man, it's just a wild turn of events like with this Clippers team, because I always thought that injuries would be something that would stop them from making a strong push in the regular season. My theory on it was if you just hold on and get to the playoffs, that they could actually do some damage. They'd be a team you wouldn't want to see. But they got Brook Lopez getting coaches like DNP coaches decisions when they've got zero in terms of big depth on their team. If Ivica Zubac is not in the game, they have nothing, bro. They have.
Well, you
nothing.
saw the easy layup Ja got last night. As soon as he saw a gap without Zubac in the paint, he just took it for an easy layup. And I think Brevin called it they just called it a routine layup because it was no contest at all.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. But let me find it. Where is it? Here it is. Sam Tolliver says, never thought we'd ever manhandle a Kawhi Leonard-led team. That is the truth, man. Kawhi is still so nice, though, dude. He's still so good.
He hit that weird little deep two-corner fadeaway, and I texted Evan because whenever Evan and I do post-game bounces together, we'll text throughout the game. Yeah. I texted Evan and I said that Kawhi shot falling away in the corner just kind of gave me flashbacks to that 2016, 2017, Toronto, but also that 2017 team that put us out of the playoffs in 6 games. Where Kawhi literally put us out strictly from shooting mid-range jumpers and felt like he didn't miss the entire series.
Yeah, tell me that in the corner in the corner jumper, fadeaway jumper that Kawhi hit last night didn't remind you of that Toronto game against Philly in Game 7 at the buzzer. Like he's just such a phenomenal shot maker, and it's so interesting. We had a group discussion in the group chat this morning. It seems like Cedric Coward is targeting Kawhi Leonard as a guy he wants to learn how to like. I really want to spend some time. There's a clip, Michael Wallace put it out there on Twitter from Grind City Media, of Cedric Coward planning his warm-up routine around when Kawhi was on the floor last night. There's reports out that asked him after the game, the last LA Clippers game, like, hey, I want to come work out with you in the summertime.
Yeah.
That I'm telling you, that excites me if that happens.
You also have to think. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
You also have to think too. This last draft class and the draft class that just came through. So the last 2 draft classes. These are really the first 2 draft classes that have come through that have got to watch the guys who are about to change the guard over in this league.
Yeah.
That they watched them growing up through middle school and high school. Cam Spencer got to watch Steph, and you're seeing flashes of that, and I'm sure we'll talk about it later. You look at Ced, prime young Kawhi Leonard is what he looks like sometimes. They are molding their games after guys who are currently at the tail end of their careers. And now that they're in the league, they're getting to actually, talk to these guys
when you rub shoulders with those guys.
Yeah, rub shoulders with them and see the intricacies of their game at an up close and personal level and take things from it. And you're seeing that with Cedric Coward, especially with Kawhi having played the Clippers 3 times this year, and they're 25% of our wins. So
yeah, it's so interesting though. Like what's so funny to me, what I saw in that was there's not a better player like that's on his way out that during their prime I would want Cedric Coward to mimic his game after is other than Kawhi Leonard. Like it feels like Cedric's game is so fitted for what Kawhi Leonard has done in his career that I'm like, yes, that is the dude that I would love to see Cedric Coward copy his game after. Do you have the same kind of thought process on that, or what do you think?
100%. I mean, he's a little shorter than Kawhi, but he's got the same
Wingspan.
build,
Yeah,
same build, wingspan, and whatnot. It literally looks just like a young, early 2010s Kawhi Leonard out there, pretty much. He's a good defender. The shot will come as he gets older and into the league, especially on the road. His shot's falling off a little bit, but he's still making winning plays. Jaren had a block last night, and as soon as Jaren got the block, Seth started running and had a tough layup over two defenders, one of them being James Harden. It's just he's making these winning plays, and with his makeup and the way he's built and the wingspan, him having long arms and his jump shot just being pure. Yes, I want him to build his game entirely after Kawhi, be Kawhi Leonard Jr. with really good defense. He has a really good mid-range jump shot as well. Sorry. It's just, there you go. Baseline dunk on Zubac. Just he is molding his game, and it's just the perfect, person to look up to when you get into the league if you're someone who's built like Cedric Howard.
Yeah, no, I think that is the one thing. I think Cedric had kind of gotten into a little bit of a rut in the last couple of weeks or maybe the last month of games where the only shots, not that he was not playing well, but the only shots that he was getting were 2-point at the rim or 3-point shots. And all of us were saying, bro, like there is right now what is the most consistent and tough thing to guard for Cedric Howard is that little one dribble pull up mid-range jumper coming off of a screen, which is how Kawhi has made millions upon millions of dollars in this league, is perfecting that mid-range kind of lean back jumper off of a screen. And I'm like, you saw Cedric in the midst of some of the struggles that he's been having with his 3-point shot, and with teams now starting to have to kind of target him and bracket their defense to like keep him out of the paint, he was having a hard time getting his shot off because he wasn't really necessarily looking for that mid-range jumper. And it feels like he started to bring that back out a little bit more in the last like week or so. And I'm telling you, if Cedric can if he's a 3-level scorer like that as a rookie, like what's it going to look like in a couple of years when he is more suited physically for the NBA grind than he is right now? Like, let's not forget his college season would basically be heading into the back half of the college season at this point.
Right into conference play.
Right into conference play right now. He'd probably have like maybe 15 to 20 more games to play before his college season would be over. And we're barely into the NBA season at this point. I mean, we are a quarter of a way, right? Like, so it's interesting to me, man. Like I'm really interested in seeing, I love seeing that Ced is kind of taking the onus on himself of saying, this is the guy that I want to be like. This is the guy that I want to play like, because I can't think of anybody better than Kawhi Leonard. But we got to get to it, man. Let's get to some of these. Let's dive deeper into the box score. Brother, this was a game that we have been begging to see from Jaren Jackson Jr. 31 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 5 blocks, which I think is a season high for him. 5 blocks.
He had 6 in that opener, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, did he have 6 in the opener?
I think he had 6 against New Orleans in the season debut.
So Jaren, man, 13 of 18 from the field, 4 of 5 from the 3-point line, only 2 free throws, which is just unbelievable that he plays in the paint and only gets 2 free throws. And we found out earlier, I had forgotten those free throws came within the first minute of the game. And didn't get another foul call the entire rest of the game. But Jaren balled out last night, man. He
played so well. He had 14 in the second quarter. And he, like you said, they fed him early. They realized that he had the hot hand. And Tuomas Islo said it after the Utah loss. He said, we have to feed Jaren more, and we have to make him that integral part of this offense, which we've seen him try to be an integral part of this offense, but he hasn't lived up to it himself. But now that T.I. is forcing the issue, I think it's put a little bit more confidence in Jaren's head. And we saw it last night. He was 9 of 11 in the first half. played phenomenal, 21 points. As Drew likes to call it, ethical hoops from Jaren Jackson Jr. last night. Just played so well. And when he's engaged on one end of the floor, he's engaged on the other. It comes hand in hand. 5 blocks, 1 steal, was really paying attention to every movement on the defensive end. You could see his head darting between his man and where the ball actually was, just adjusting to where he needed to. I think the biggest thing for me last night, not the 32 points or 31 points, however many he dropped, it was he had 4 assists, all passing out of a double team and hitting his guys in rhythm. At the end of the third quarter, a double came. I think he only had 1 turnover off of an actual double team, and that was the blind side that Santi didn't call out, that Santi should have called out. But the one at the end of the third quarter where he saw Vince coming over back to the top of the wing, saw the double come, Jaren hit Vince in stride. Vince, all he had to do, set his feet, shoot it, and an easy 3-point make. Jaren just looked really well in all facets of the game last night, not just one area. I want to see it consistently. Jaren's not out of the woods for me yet. But last night was a great start, and we finally got a glimpse of pre-ankle turn 2024, 2025 Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, the guy who was literally an all-NBA player, a couple of votes away from making an all-NBA team. I think a lot of this is going to have to be Jaren's struggles are what they are, right? He struggled this season, and I think that's apparent that he struggled this season. But I agree with you. I think the biggest thing for me is that what I liked about last night is the intentionality in which it was very clear the Grizzlies and Tomas Isolo made it a point. Like, we are going to activate Jaren in this offense, because I think that's been my biggest frustration with him is it feels like he's just kind of been a spectator as the offense has been moving, as the offense has been running actions and running plays. He's just kind of been hanging out at the 3-point line, waiting for the ball to come his way, and then he'll go one-on-one ISO ball, try to get to the rim, and it just doesn't work. What you saw last night was a level of intentionality that Tomas Isolo put in the game plan to get Jaren involved in simple actions and simple plays. Like the passing out of double team, that play you're specifically mentioning with the Vince Williams 3-pointer, it came off of Vince had the ball in his hands. Jaren, he called Jaren over to set a screen to get the mismatch that he wanted. He wanted the mismatch. He got the ball, set the screen, got the mismatch, got down into the post. The double team came off of Jaren. Jaren's guy that was originally guarding him was guarding Vince Williams. He doubled the post, and it's literally just an easy pass out to the 3-point line to Vince. Vince kind of relocated a little bit to get out of the line of eyesight of the doubler and just shot a 3. It was easy action, but it was intentional action. Like that to me is a guy like Jaren is you need a level of intentionality to get him involved in this game plan. And you saw it, and he responded to it last night.
Yeah, he responded to it well, and it opened up the offense a lot more. 121 points in the game, which felt like an easy 121, and the only down spurt of the offense was the very start of the third quarter where the Clippers went on that run, but then the Grizzlies immediately called a timeout after they lost the lead, re-strengthened their grip on the game, and just improved really well. And when Jaren is a focal point and he's actually playing, like you said, with intentionality, this team is so much better. Same thing with Edie. Just when Edie's on the court, obviously things are better, but Jaren playing intentional just feels so much better.
Yeah, no, I mean, it worked last night, and shout out to Jaren for you got to wonder if he heard as much as not that he didn't hear, like I don't know what he consumes in terms of internet, in terms of clips, in terms of whatever, but you got to I think we all have to realize these guys are professionals, man. These guys are they didn't get to this highest level of basketball based off of just luck and size. No. Like they had to work. And so you have to think that Jaren was probably as frustrated as all of us with the way that he's been playing.
And right before the game, Evan and I right before the game, because we had no bluffing last night, right before the Grizzlies tipped off, we took it up to about 8:30. We started at 7. Evan and I were probably as the most fed up we have been with Jaren all year after that Utah, stinker that he put up. And then Evan texts and goes, "Did this man is sitting in the locker room before the game, like scrolling Twitter, find clips or whatnot?" And we're just making jokes about it. And I was like, I don't know, but whatever he did in the locker room, do for the other 46 games that we have left this year.
If we can get, if Jaren can use this as kind of a jump off point for the season for him in terms of just the production that he added last night, it changes the outlook for this Grizzlies team, especially with Zach being out, especially with Ja's potential being out. It just helps so much.
I'm sitting here waiting for that PR notification to come out and kind of terrified. If we don't get a PR notification, I feel better about it. If he just pops up as questionable or doubtful tomorrow. But also, too, one thing I noticed about Jaren last night, he didn't have any of those layups where he went up off of 1 foot and falling away. Everything felt like it was a spin into the block and going up, like you said, intentional, but this time off of 2 feet, grounding himself and making it points. It's like, hey, I'm getting to the rim. I'm not falling away from it. I'm not going to fall away. I'm going to go and score this basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We got to go, though. We got to move on.
Yeah.
Brother, is he the greatest shooter of all time?
It feels like it.
I mean, what is going on? We made a joke in the comment section or in the group chat last night that they should change the NBA rule for Cam Spencer. That if his ball hits the rim in any way on a 3-point shot, that 3-point shot doesn't count. I mean, he was 7 of 10 last night, and I would say probably 6.5 of those 3-pointers that he made were just totally dead center cup down the mid, like just splash.
Probably the most perfect swish you get out of any made basket ever.
Yeah. I mean, just my God. Like it feels like Cam has just cemented himself. I don't even know. I haven't seen the stats updated on where he is 3-point percentage wise, but I know he was like top 5 in the NBA last week on 3-point shooting. I mean, he is just an elite shooter at this point.
And I saw someone bring up a post back from early October where the lights were off almost all the way off in the FedEx Forum and Cam was still there shooting. And someone brought it up, was like, hey, this is relevant today. He's put in the work. He knows he earned a guaranteed contract. And like I mentioned earlier, he got to watch Steph probably throughout his entire middle school and high school career up until UConn. His IQ is also just insane too without the shooting. There was one play last night, I think it was the second quarter, where he went wing to wing, found the open spot. I think it was Jaren who got him the ball, and easy under the basket reverse layup for a bucket. His IQ along with his shooting is so good because you see him actively hunting his shot. The second 3-pointer he made before his last one of the night, where he pulled up from deep on the right wing, he was just kind of sitting there doing jab steps on the left wing, got a screen, acted like he was going to take the screen, pop back, and in between 3 Clipper defenders, found maybe 2 feet of space, skinny, and pulled it and just dead center. And then the next one, he comes up trailing and just cans it for all the momentum. And that's when he's starting to talk his
you got to get this dude. You got to get this dude off.
Get him off me.
Get him off.
Get him off me. And he's hunting his shot. And you love it. When you love a guy at any level of basketball who hunts for his spots, and for Cam, it's the 3-point line. For someone else, for Ja, it's in the paint. When they hunt their spots specifically where they are comfortable being, it's so fun to watch. And Cam Spencer is one of those. He knows what he likes, and he excels at it.
It's so, and it's not even just that he's a good 3-point shooter. It's not he's a great 3-point shooter. It's that he is also just a really good basketball player. Like last night, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, only 1 turnover, a 6-to-1 ratio in an NBA game as a backup point guard for assist to turnover ratio is unbelievable. And there are, I didn't have it in my bingo card at the beginning of the year that Cam Spencer was going to create so much attention to himself as a 3-point shooter that he was that teams were going to actively start to have to like game plan for him when he's out there. And what I love about it is that he's not just like relying on, I'm just going to get my 3-point shot off at any time. Yeah. He is looking to move the ball and pass to the open guy. You saw that even with Jock Landale on a screen pick and roll with Cam. Jock screened and dove to the basket, and Cam did like one small little sidestep dribble to the open space and just threaded a dime to Jock down the middle of the lane. It's those kinds of things that I'm just like, man, this dude is like totally changing the back end of the rotation for the Memphis Grizzlies at this point. Like, that's why I kind of wonder if, like, we talk about Ty Jerome coming back and we talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. coming back. We talk about Vince Williams and what he was able to do when he was out there. And I just don't know if Ty Jerome is a great ball player, and I think he does a lot of really good things. But is Cam changing the calculus for what the bench rotations look like when those guys do come back?
No, because Vince will lose those minutes, I think. Because everyone kind of discounts Ty's defense last year when he was top 30 in defensive rating, along with KCP being right at 26, I believe. You have off that bench, if you play Cam and Ty together, it's going to make people mad simply because you have two shooters who are really, really good. It's going to make opposing teams mad. Ty's going to come in, and I think he fits. And I agree with this comment right here. Ty's a better point guard than Cam. I think Ty's a better pure point guard, and Cam can kind of stay in that two-guard role, which he operated so well in last night. He can still hunt his shot, but like you said, he's actively playmaking. But even off the ball, you watch Cam, he's so great. Ty is better on ball, in my opinion. But you get those two out in the lineup together, KCP at the 3 off the bench, and then whatever you want to do in your front court, to me, that's going to be your best bench lineup. I don't think it changes entirely what Ty does with this team. I just think Cam's creating a great problem to have. And we have to be happy about that part.
Yeah, I mean, he's just turning himself into a full-fledged backup off the bench, whatever you want to put him at, point guard, 2 guard, whatever you want to put him at. The only concern I have is defensively, what do you do, right? Ty Jerome, Cam Spencer doesn't seem to be the greatest defensively. But I will say, dude, we can use Cam Spencer's size and lack of athleticism as a way to say, like, defensively he'll get hunted, and he will get hunted. But he is just such a disciplined ball player that he doesn't get crushed on defense. Like, he's not getting burned every single time. You know what I'm saying?
No, and I know exactly what you're saying, because the same kind of scrappiness and psychoticness he brings to the offensive side of the ball, he has to bring it entirely. And he's actively probably one of the most engaged guys off the bench defensively as well. If you watch Cam on defense, actively looking around, he's actively communicating and yelling out to his guys as well. So I think Cam will be fine on defense. Yes, he might get hunted a few times, but he's a good enough defender to not get beat every single time down the floor on defense. So I want to go back real quick. You talked about 3-point percentage. It has been updated. Cam is in second in the league right now at 50.8. And the only person he's behind right now is Tari Eason, who hasn't played in 10 games.
And he's shooting. Are you able to look at like how many 3-point field goals attempted per game? Like, he's got to be up there in terms of attempts, because he's averaging, I think, at least 6 or 7 3-point field goal attempts every game, right?
Yeah, he's averaging over 5 for sure. Give me a second, because the NBA website's hard to track sometimes.
I mean, it's just that's the thing, is that it's not that he is shooting the ball just well. It's that he's shooting in high volume and making a lot of shots.
Yeah.
In the last 2 games, he's 13 of 16 in the last 2 games from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
That is on average 8 3-point attempts a game. Like that, and he's 13 of 16. It's wild, dude.
Let's see. Cam is averaging, okay, Tari Eason, before we miss these 10 games, Tari Eason is averaging 5 3-point attempts per game. Cam is in second behind Eason currently, and Cam is averaging right at 5 a game.
Yep.
And Cam's played every game, and Tari Eason, like I said, has missed the last 10. So
that's crazy. We do have some video from last night after the game. Cam actually spoke to the media. Let's listen to that and see what you think.
I credit to the team. I thought the ball was really moving well. I thought we were sharing it on the offensive end, getting stops, getting out in transition. So, just had to knock down shots when the ball found me, and felt like our team was just doing a great job sharing the ball all night long.
You must like it here at Intuit Dome because the last time you were here, you were pretty hot too.
As long as we win, I don't care, man. I'd like to play well for the team, but as long as we win, that's really all I care about. So we got 2 wins, so I'm happy.
You won't like this, Cam, but Isolo said that not enough people are talking about you, right? So that's going to put you in even more of a spotlight when people start talking about you. But just what has this season meant to you for you to come back, improve from last season, to put yourself in position to help this team the way you have?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. As a competitor, you want to be out there as many minutes as you can to help the team. And like I said, I'm all about winning. So, we've been on a good run here. We got to keep the momentum going. I appreciate Coach saying that, but it's such a team game. That's really all my focus is on. Just trying to get wins and try to make the right play for our team.
And then expanding your game, the 6 assists, being a playmaker, facilitator for the team too. How much is that sort of rounded out your game as well?
Yeah, I think, the NBA, there's such great players and such great spacing that when you're out there, if you're out there for long enough at the possessions, I feel like you'll be able to show more parts of your game. So you'll be in a lot of pick and rolls or off ball. So like I said, just trying to make the right play so we score or whatever helps the team win.
I just think, and the last little thing I'll say about Cam, what makes this so interesting is that everything he's doing, Jared, is absolutely repeatable. Game after game after game after game. Just absolutely repeatable. He's not going outside of his mind shooting the ball. This is how he shoots. He's not athletically doing things that people, once he's game plan for, people will start to shut that stuff down. He's just out there hooping, and he makes the game, when he's out there, he makes the game look simple.
Yeah, he does. And it's just one of those things where you watch his shot, very simple, smooth form as well. Kind of like we talked about with Sed, has a very smooth, repeatable form. Too good not to be good on the results wise. But yeah, it's repeatable. He hunts his shots. He gets a lot of off-ball movement. It's nothing too flashy, nothing too crazy. And it's just one of those things that he can come out and do on a night in and night out basis.
And one of the things that I love about it is that he pisses people off when he plays because he talks so much stuff. He is a pest. Frank Green said Cam is a pest, and we need Reggie to handle it, which is the perfect segue. Man, listen, if you have pests out there, it is cold outside. These little critters are going to try to get into your house. They want warmth. They want a place to come and hang out. If you've got mice, if you've got bugs, if you've got ants, if you've got roaches, if whatever you have, you need help getting them out of your house, man, you need to call Grade A Pest. Reggie Freeman Alexander, 20 years of experience in pest and rodent control. He's a homegrown business. It's a homegrown business from a born and raised Memphian, committed to excellence by applying human and pet-friendly products that are safe and highly efficient to meet your pest needs. Stu was in the Fortune 500, the executive world for 20 plus years, and came on back to start his own business. He's accredited, he's credentialed, he's licensed. He's not some bum off the streets who's doing pest control just because that's what he's doing. He is actually licensed. Call him at 901-628-4867 or hit him up at gradeapservices@gmail.com. Reggie Freeman Alexander, Grade A Pest. If you have any issues whatsoever as the wintertime is settling in, as animals and bugs and critters are trying to get into your house, hit up Reggie Freeman Alexander, Grade A Pest, 901-628-4867, gradeapservices@gmail.com. Listen, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, it will be the three-pointer. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about, but let's take a break. When we come back, we'll do the three-pointer. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
Are the leaders in field goal attempts per game when the guy is touching the ball more than 6 seconds. Luka Doncic, Kenny Stubblefield, does this 12.1 times per game. His true shooting percentage is 53.3%. SGA, 11 times a game, 59%. Ja Morant does this 6.5 times a game, where he has the ball more than 25% of the shot clock, right? His effective field goal percentage is at 32.7, which is leaps and bounds worse than anybody else that's even in this top 10, right? Ja has to do way better than bro. Like you can't have possessions where you're killing the shot clock, where you're saying, okay, fuck the play, I'm the play, and that's what you're coming out with, right? Because if you got the ball that long, bro, you're saying fuck the play, I'm the play, and I'm not mad at you doing that. That is absolutely crazy, and Ja has to find better ways to score.
Tune into the Anthony Sain Show Monday through Fridays at 1 p.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story. Well, I promise you, this is the Anthony Sain Show. Apparently, I was moving too fast and I put the wrong commercial in the studio.
Oh man,
it is weird to have an Anthony Sain Show clip in the Anthony Sain Show. You are watching the Anthony Sain Show. It's just the great value Anthony Sain is here and not Anthony Sain himself. Shout out to you, Jared Davidson, for stepping in for the man, the myth, the legend himself, Anthony Sain.
Man, hey, I'm glad that you texted. I'm glad that it was able to work out, and I want to address it. I did not steal Sain's cup.
Yeah,
this cup is in my cabinet, 2.5 hours away anywhere from Memphis. So
no, let me tell you, don't let him trip on you, because he was making fun of you for the water cup. He doesn't have a big water cup. He has a jug.
Like a jug.
He has a jug that could literally serve as a water container and a weapon all at the same time. Like, this dude, that water jug could absolutely take people's lives if he wanted to. If Anthony was that kind of a guy, it could happen.
Yeah.
But shout out to you, man.
Oh, every once in a while I'll see he's gone from, he's used like an aluminum cup, or like a little aluminum cup. He's used a Grizzlies cup, and I've seen that, especially in the summer. I saw that big old jug, and it's just like, man, you could probably legitimately like just smack somebody with that thing and they'd be knocked out cold.
Yeah, the jug's coming back tomorrow. Anthony says that thing is a monster. That thing takes up an entire camera angle. Like you have to dedicate an entire camera just to that jug itself. But shout out to you for being on. This is they're calling you took it as a compliment. Great value, Anthony Sain. I'll tell you one place that is not a great value. It is a great value, but it's not a knockoff version. Is Carway Auto, man. If you need a car, if you need a new ride, you absolutely need to check out Carway. I was on their lot this week. I was shooting a commercial for them. I'm in the process of finishing up the commercial right now. Their lot is actually, the cars they have on their lot are actually fire, bro. They got some fun stuff over there. They're a locally owned Memphians, born and raised. They own Carway. Carway the right way, 6154 Summer Avenue. right next door to the Shelby County Sheriff's office right there. So it's a safe place to go. Financing available, bad credit, no problem. Hit the dudes up, 901-440-8251. Hit up Michael Caruth over there. He's the guy. Talk to him. He'll get you into an awesome car. They've got some great stuff over there. And it's so crazy. Like Anthony was talking about it yesterday in the read. We've been talking to Carway for a while, and every time we have a conversation with him, Michael Caruth mentions Pink Beetles. And like, it kind of got to the point where we were like, this bro needs to get serious, man. Like, we got to get serious. We're trying to really do some things here with Carway. They've got some great stuff. He keeps talking about Pink Beetles. Bro, they got Pink Beetles on their lot. Like, it is apparently, you can't find Pink Beetles anywhere. They had a Beetle. They got it painted pink, and you would think that it would be like some like fluorescent pink thing. It is actually really pretty. And they sell more Pink Beetles than any car. They sell so many of them. They sell at least 3 or 4 a month off their car lot.
Oh my gosh.
And it is wild. If you are looking for one of the cooler looking cars I've ever seen, a Pink Beetle, they actually have a pink Jeep over there. It's a really cool look. You can buy them there. If your wife is looking for a Barbie doll style ride, check out Carway. They do it the right way. Carway is just a great place. 6154 Summer Avenue. Hit them up, 901-440-8251. Set up a time. Go see their lot. They got a lot of cool stuff, man. Really, really good place. Shout out to Carway. But, man, it is time to get to the three-pointer. We got some fun stuff to talk about here. Tonight is the NBA Cup Finals. It is set. The New York Knicks versus the San Antonio Spurs. What are your thoughts, man? I know the New York Knicks right now are 2.5-point favorites, but I'm not betting against the Spurs in this game.
I'm not either, because, I mean, when was the semifinal? Saturday? Was that? Yeah. So Wemby's had 2 days off.
Yeah.
After having a minutes restriction that, who's their head coach's name? I can't remember his name.
Mitch Johnson.
Yeah, Mitch Johnson. That Mitch Johnson, the way he staggered it, Wemby played 6 minutes in the first half, got to 22 and played the other 18 in the second half. So I don't know. I think we see closer to a full slate of Wemby tonight. I don't know if Cat can guard him. If that's probably going to be the matchup that is drawn for Cat. I don't know. I like the Spurs. I'm kind of shocked they're not favored in this one. I think that money line is like plus 128 last I looked, somewhere around that.
Something like that, yeah.
I thought about taking it. I haven't placed it yet because I had to have 2 of my games hit last night. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, the Spurs, dude, they're so good. That young core, like they just won 9 games without Wemby. Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, and honestly, their backup center core is really well too, and Luke Cornett and Kelly Olynyk. So like, this team is very well rounded, and I think they're getting to their peak a lot quicker than people thought, especially with how they played without Wemby.
We should have known though, because like Oklahoma City kind of broke all the barriers in terms of young, not in their prime yet players that are so talented that they won the championship last year. They broke the mold in terms with winning the championship last year. And this Spurs team seems destined to be right there with Oklahoma City. It sucks that they're in the same division as the Grizzlies. But the key to this, I think the key to the Spurs team is not just that Wemby is that fantastic of a player, because he is, but it's their big guards too, right? Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes playing that shooting forward role, Devin Vassell, is it Keldon Johnson? Those guys, they have a ton of like big wings that can shoot, that can get to the basket, that know how to play, that know what their roles are. I will say this though, the Knicks are the kind of team that I think have the size on the wings to like give the San Antonio Spurs problems, right? Yeah. Like that's kind of their calling card too, is not just they've got Jalen Brunson, they got Karl Anthony Towns, who are both fantastic players. Jalen Brunson is a superstar in every way. He's just a fantastic player. But Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, those guys, they have the size, I think, to give San Antonio problems. I think that this is, if it wasn't going to be Oklahoma City, San Antonio is the next best thing, I think, in terms of what an NBA Cup Finals can look like. And what's scary is that these young teams like San Antonio, teams that have made pushes in the NBA Cup, whether it's that year or the following year, are in the NBA Finals. It's been that way the last 3 years.
Yeah, that's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying because the Spurs are on that trajectory, barring any health issues. But just this team is so fun to watch. They're fundamentally sound majority of the time as well.
Yeah.
The Spurs team gifted another number 1 overall pick after the Duncan years. Now it took them a couple of years to get that number 1 pick, but with Wemby leading them and them just having a generational big, every time they have a generational big, they're going to be at some point in contention for a final appearance or finals win. The Knicks, with them, like you mentioned, they have the two 1A, 1B type guys in Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. Their wings are so good, especially defensively after they got OG. Like, they are a defensively sound team as well, and I think they finally got the right coach to fit the overall chemistry of that team in Mike Brown. So I love Mike Brown as a coach. I think he got dealt a very bad hand when he was with Sacramento, and I think now that he has gotten to New York and gotten a system running that the players are buying into it as well, especially when your superstar comes out and said, hey, it starts with me. I have to do that, and everyone else falling in line after that. This team's very well-rounded, dude. And this Knicks are fun to watch. And honestly, NBA basketball is better when these two teams who are playing tonight are better and at the top part of the league. I hate to say it, but I love watching NBA basketball more when these two teams are good.
I mean, I hear you, but it sucks.
It sucks because we should have been up there at some point. It sucks. I know.
Oh God. All right. Hey, this podcast is this podcast is presented by FanDuel. And so we do have some FanDuel numbers for you. We usually do kind of like the normal game spreads, right? The spread, the money line, the point totals, things like that. But there's I love parlays. Parlays. And this is an interesting one. This one is called on FanDuel, it's called Shot Jackson Trade or something. It's a funny name, but it's basically points plus rebounds plus assists totals. All right.
Yep.
De'Aaron Fox, this is the parlay. De'Aaron Fox over 30.5. So remind you, this is points plus rebounds plus assists. De'Aaron Fox over 30.5. Victor Wembanyama over 34.5. Stephon Castle over 29.5. Jalen Brunson over 40.5. Josh Hart over 27.5. Karl-Anthony Towns over 35.5. Points, rebounds, plus assists total. If you bet this parlay $10, it's plus 41.91. $10 wins you $419.19. Would you make this bet, Jared?
Dude, I kind of would. It is called Jump Shots and Jackpots. 6 stat sheet stuffers shine in Sin City, seeking an NBA Cup crown. Just went and found that. I honestly, so PRAs has probably won me the most money on FanDuel.
Yeah,
and these numbers, I like Fox's number. His assist numbers will go up with Wemby. Wemby obviously getting boards, and I think he ended up scoring 20 last game.
Right.
Stephon Castle, same thing. Jalen Brunson has done really well. He's flirted with triple doubles consistently this year. Josh Hart will be absolutely everywhere. He'll get you 10 of each if he needs you to. And then Cat, he'll grab 16 rebounds along with 20-something points. These numbers look very, very enticing tonight to where you could put $5 or $10 down. 5 probably wins you, I think, 2-10 around that area.
10, yep.
Yeah, so it's dude, this is a really good, these are obviously great odds, but these numbers are kind of right there as well, where they just look enticing enough to want to place a bet. Because a lot of those pre-made bets on FanDuel, it's just the way they're designed. You look at them like, oh yeah, they're like supposed to draw you in. This one, you dissect it line by line, looks really, really good, especially with how these two teams are playing. And honestly, it could be a really high-scoring game tonight, too.
Yeah, the only part of this parlay that kind of scares me is, will Victor play enough minutes to get 34.5 points, rebounds, assists?
I'm going to check.
What did he have last?
That's
check his totals for the game against Oklahoma City.
because he only played like 22 minutes, I think, in that game, even if he got there. Let's see. San Antonio Spurs. He came off the bench, played 21 minutes, had 22 points, had 9 rebounds, so there's 31, and had 2 assists. There's 33. He was right at that on a minutes restriction. He was right at that on a pretty heavy minutes restriction. I think that minutes restriction gets eased up tonight. So if you don't take this parlay, I would just take that number, honestly.
Yeah.
If you don't take the parlay.
Yep, I like it. All right. Topic number 2. Penny Hardaway had his weekly coaches show last night, and Roman Cleary, the beat writer for Love City Media, who covers the Memphis Tigers, posted a tweet last night, basically asking Penny. Penny was asked by some fans, like, during the Christmas break, what are you gonna do? Like, what do you do to relax? And he said, I watch basketball. And so then, obviously, the obvious answer, Penny Hardaway, one of the greatest NBA point guards in the history of the NBA, played 2 seasons at the University of Memphis. So he's played college basketball, played NBA. He came out and he said, listen, I don't watch NBA these days. He's, and this is kind of a paraphrase. He finds college games more enjoyable because they're more pure. What are your thoughts on this? Like, this is one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game, NBA, saying, all right, I enjoy watching college basketball because it's more pure. What do you like? You're an Arkansas fan and you're an NBA fan.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy?
So personally, especially this year, I've enjoyed the NBA more. I like the high competitiveness of college basketball, especially at the above the mid-major level. Right. I'm curious as to if he was talking about watching, these Power 5, Power 4s going against each other, or if he's going down to like the mid-major level where you have your Murray States, your UT Martins, your Marquettes, your Gonzagas, your St. Mary's, although I don't classify Gonzaga.
Gonzaga as a mid-major?
They're in a mid-major conference. They are a big-time college basketball team playing in a mid-major conference. I do not classify them as a mid-major.
All right, I got a question for you. I'm going to make you an enemy or a friend of the Memphis Tigers. Are the Memphis Tigers a mid-major?
Yes.
Yep, I agree.
They are. They are a mid-major. I've had this conversation before because there was a whole thing on Twitter last season about if Memphis was actually a mid-major or not. And like, once you get to that level of Gonzaga here now in basketball, you can be out of that mid-major classification but still playing in a mid-major. But Memphis hasn't shown that consistency yet, in my opinion. If Penny's talking about mid-major basketball, because you look at, I live here in Martin, Tennessee. We have a mid-major college here at the basketball level. All right, Coach Shulman has about 11 foreign guys on this squad, and it plays very fundamentally fast-paced movement basketball. That, in my opinion, is pure basketball. I don't know if he's saying that the NBA is just too much of let me get me and mines. So I don't know. I wanted to kind of know which viewpoint he's going at it in what part of the game, what part of college basketball is more pure than the NBA. Because if you're talking about mid-major, where it requires more in-depth coaching to win basketball games, then I agree to that extent. Yeah. But the higher up you go, you can rely a lot more on athletes being athletes at the college level as opposed to having to scheme your way around another opponent.
There are a lot of rules about the college game that I would change to match the NBA game to make the college game more pleasing to the eye, and more and help prepare college basketball players for the NBA. I think college basketball, the rules don't necessarily allow for the elite of the elite college basketball players can come and play in the NBA, but it's very difficult to, especially zone defenses, the time, the shot clock, all those things. It makes it very difficult to really to make that transition to the NBA. What's interesting, kind of take this to a different level. what's interesting about this statement is that Penny Hardaway has made it very clear and has flirted numerous times with NBA teams about coaching in the NBA. And so it's interesting to me. I know for a fact that Orlando, the Magic reached out to Penny Hardaway. Jamal Mosley reached out to Penny Hardaway about coming on staff with him. Frank is the trip. But he's talked about in the past his desire to get to the NBA as a coach at some point. I wonder if that's shifted for him. He's not talked about it in a while, but I wonder if maybe his mindset on where he wants to finish his coaching career, whether it be what that says to me, I don't see him going to any other college to coach. I think he's going to stay at Memphis until he decides to hang up the whistle. But it is interesting. I've always thought that the only way he would leave is if he decides to retire or if an NBA team comes calling.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if that's maybe changed in his mind a little bit.
Maybe it has. I mean, it's just I will admit I don't get to watch I don't watch a lot of Memphis basketball. I watch, I'm a fan of Arkansas, I'm a fan of UT Martin. And I work majority of the nights they play working at a JUCO. So I don't get to watch a whole lot. But with Penny, I mean, he's always had the talent with the teams. And you can tell he truly enjoys coaching simply by his pressers and by how he talks to everybody and how he talks to everyone. And you can see it on the sidelines. He loves it. So maybe that perception has changed for him of wanting to stay at the college level. And in a day and age where people want to get out of the college level because of NIL, maybe he's realized that it's kind of gotten to a similar playing field as the NBA, and he can, stay there and kind of keep that same, I don't want to call it transactional, but maybe that's just the way we've shifted. And maybe that's where Penny wants to stay now.
It's interesting. I disagree with Penny. I like watching NBA, and I think I think the game is better. I think obviously the talent is better. But I will say the one thing that the NBA has over college basketball now, especially in a city like Memphis, is they have continuity of rosters throughout the year.
Yep.
Right? Like you have the same players. We have seen Jaren Jackson Jr., Ja Morant. We now have Cedric Coward. We now have Cam Spencer, Jalen Wells. Guys that Zach Edey, you have guys that you're going to have in your city playing for your team for at least 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, right? College basketball somehow has to get fixed. The transfer portal situation, whether
you're lucky if you have 2 straight years of a player.
And the Tigers have not. The Tigers have not had. They've had full roster turnovers for 3 or 4 years straight in their program, and it makes it difficult. Anthony talked about it yesterday on the show, just not knowing anybody on this Memphis Tiger roster, not knowing anything about them, and it makes watching the games much more difficult to get engaged in that way. So that's interesting to me.
I'm all for players getting paid with NIL. I believe they deserve that. That's the whole reason that the whole NCAA football game had the hiatus, because they're using name, image, and likeness because of the player who sued them didn't get any money for it. Bring back, you can transfer one time, but if you transfer again, you have to sit out a year, and that changes a lot of it. I believe you should be able to transfer one time because there are circumstances that players, need to transfer out of and, need a fresh change of scenery. But if you're going to do it again, make them have to sit out another year.
I agree. Something's got to change with the transfer portal. It's such an interesting conversation, though, especially with Penny, like being the high-level NBA point guard that he is. You would think the era of big guards would be very attractive to him as a big guard, 6'7" point guard, but he likes the college game. And it's interesting.
I wonder too if like the way he views it, because he played in a different era than what is happening now, as if he kind of thinks that players are going into I'm going to do this, like get mine of my own, and not really do what the coaching staff in team basketball. Obviously, there's players like that back then, but it feels like it's much more prominent now, especially with the likes of the Utah Jazz, the Washington Wizards. No real goals of getting out of the tankathon. So I wonder if his perception has changed in that, as if just it feels like a lot of selfish ball in my opinion. I just don't. I'm trying to see where Penny is coming from, because I agree with you, Kenny. I like watching the NBA more. It just feels like a much more polished product because it's the highest professional league in the world. You're going to get that. And especially recently, it feels like the level of competition and the level of talent in the last 4 or 5 years has gradually gotten better to where, yes, the Oklahoma City Thunder are 24-2, but it feels like there is some sort of continuity and parity below the Thunder right now because everyone's competing with each other. We thought the East was going to be trash this year. The East has been really fun to keep up with.
Yes.
And so I'm just trying to think through where Penny could possibly be coming from on that, and I just don't really see a solid viewpoint.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever heard Penny say something and sound like an old man curmudgeon, right? Like you hear a lot of basketball guys, like college guys that love basketball that are like, yeah, I like the college game more, and that's fine. But the best teams in the NBA right now are not the teams that you're talking about in terms of the ISO ball. That feels like a generation ago. That feels like last generation NBA. The teams that are successful now are the teams that are building the right way, doing the right things. The San Antonio Spurs, the Oklahoma City Thunder, obviously, the Denver Nuggets. I even think as bad as the situation has been with injuries for the Memphis Grizzlies, the way the Memphis Grizzlies are building their roster out, right? They're doing it through the draft and through development and through, bringing in players and keeping them, and not just going and trying to find like the mercenaries that you're talking about. Like it just feels like the NBA is doing things differently now than they were last generation. And so I wonder if Penny hasn't watched a really good NBA game since last generation. Yeah. Right. Like that's what it sounds like to me. But all right, last topic. We're going to hit this one really fast. Y'all go check out Tim Buckley over at the Daily Memphian. He wrote an article today or yesterday. It came out breaking down the timeline of how Charles Huff was hired. And it's pretty intriguing. A lot of the stuff that he got is from Ed Scott's press conference, the introductory press conference of Charles Huff, and Charles Huff talking about being hired by Memphis during his introductory press conference. Super interesting stuff. There's a few takeaways that I wanted to highlight about it. Ed Scott broke down the entire process, who was involved, the advisory team that he had in place, and he said some pretty interesting things about the weight of this hire for himself. Number one, it is the first hire that he's made since he's been the athletic director at Memphis for a revenue generating sport. He's hired volleyball coach. He hired a softball coach, and shout out to them. They're on the come up. But this is the first hire he's made for a team that actually can change the dynamics of Memphis Tiger athletics in the football hiring. College football is the most important sport in terms of revenue, in terms of conference realignment, in terms of getting to where you want to go. College football is it. And he said to his wife, he said, I told her this hire could be a hire that echoes through the generations, could change the trajectory of Memphis Tiger athletics long after I'm gone. Yeah. And I love that he had that mentality coming into it. Like, I want to get this right. This can't just be some filler type hire. This hire could absolutely change the dynamics of Memphis Tiger athletics. And the process in which he went about getting Charles Huff, it feels like, listen, it's very clear to me that in this process that you had big money boosters, you had a lot of people that were interested in certain candidates that were being named, and they were pushing agendas out there. Charles Huff made it very clear. Ed Scott made it very clear that Charles Huff was his guy from the beginning, and he stood on that. And I want to give Ed Scott the grace that we gave Zach Kleiman when it comes to Tomas Isolo, right? Tomas Isolo was clearly Zach Kleiman's guy, and he made a choice, and he stamped it, stood on it, puffed his chest out, and said, I'm getting my guy as the coach. This is Ed Scott and his moment to do that with Charles Huff. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have been nothing short of impressed by Charles Huff and what I've been hearing from him He won the press conference in a way that we haven't had anybody win the press conference in a long time. Everything he's saying is right on point. Everything he's doing is right on point. I am super excited about this hire. The funny part is also Ed Scott didn't. Charles Huff found out that he was hired from text messages from players after Ross Dellinger announced it on Twitter. He didn't get a phone call for like an hour from Ed Scott saying, "Yeah, you actually got the job." That's hilarious, right?
That is hilarious. It's like a player finding out they got traded through Shams tweet, but
right.
Because you think before that gets leaked out, you would talk to the guy you're about to hire. That's just, the whole process is funny. I love this hire for Memphis. Everything I've seen, because I saw some people talking the other day, especially on Facebook, which you know how Facebook gets. They were like, "Oh, well, this feels like a pit stop guy because he left Marshall and then he went to Southern Miss for only a year." He left Marshall because Marshall wanted to give him a pay raise and they physically could not.
Right.
Like, he led Marshall to 10-3. They couldn't give him a pay raise, so they let him go. When he left Marshall, so many players transferred out, Kenny, that they could not play their bowl game.
It's crazy.
So he went to Southern Miss, turned that program around, and then obviously Ed Scott comes calling with a big offer. And this feels like a spot where Charles Huff is finally going to be like, okay, I can settle down. It's not a far trip up from Hattiesburg. We'll be okay here. And this is a guy who, just from his introductory press conference, has you bought in.
Yeah.
And makes it seem like he wants to be here.
I agree.
He wants to beat the crap out of you.
Well, let me tell you, there is one way that he can show that he wants to be here. There's two ways. Number one, say all the things that he's saying.
Well, yeah.
And win a championship. That's what the Memphis Tiger fans want. But you know what also would help? What do we love about what we see out of Zach Edey and Ja Morant? It's that every time you see something a brand new tattoo, it's a Memphis-based tattoo, right? Like Ja Morant has the Grizzly on his back. Zach Edey has Tom Lee Park tattooed on him. He could absolutely, Charles Huff, if he wanted to, could absolutely go to Trilogy Memphis and get a tattoo of a Memphis Tiger on his back or on his arm or on his ribs or something. But Trilogy is the place to do it. 27 years, Jared, of fantastic work. I have 17 tattoos on my body, and 13 of them are from Trilogy. My latest one is losing a bet, the Morant bet. It's on my calf. Got it a couple of months back. They do fantastic work over there. The tattoo artistry is unbelievable. Everybody, they have won in 27 years. They have been in top 3 of the best tattoo shops and have won it like 17 times. Best tattoo shop in the city of Memphis. Anybody that's getting tattoos, that's doing tattoos in the city of Memphis is from there. They have some kind of linkage to Trilogy Tattoos. So instead of going to the guys who left, go to the place that's been there for 27 years.
Go to the place that's producing them.
Go to that place. It's the best place. 11 to 11, Monday through Saturday. Fantastic place. You can walk in. You can also call or go to their website, Trilogy Tattoos Memphis, set up an appointment. Go get it checked out. Every tattoo has a story, man. Let them tell your story at Trilogy Tattoos. And shout out to Richie Jarvis and the crew over there. They are the very, very best in the city of Memphis. But listen, man, I want to thank you for coming on. You're the man.
Problem, man.
I know we've gone an hour and 15 minutes longer than what we normally do, but shout out to you. You are the man. I appreciate you. Anthony will be back tomorrow, Jared. He will be back.
Yes.
So we won't have the knockoff Anthony Sain.
No.
We won't have the great value Anthony Sain. Anthony Sain will be back tomorrow. Jared, where can folks find you at? Where can they see you? Where can they hear you? Where can they read your tweets? Where can they find you at?
The main spot right now is just at JB_Davidson on Twitter. That's the main spot. I've kind of taken a step back from calling things right now. You can hear locally just because of new job down at Dyersburg State. About one of the things I'm working on right now is getting a lot of our graphics updated for Dyersburg State. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see me sharing a lot of those. Just shared some pictures today that I took at our most recent home basketball game where our women played Northeast and our Northeast Mississippi and our men played Northwest, and got some pictures out from there. first time I've really been truly behind a camera in a few years.
It's fun.
So it is fun. Got to just basically show off my work and do that with them, working on graphics, holiday graphics for them right now. So you see me share all my stuff over there. You can find me with Luke Hatmaker on the Daily Grind in the mornings, usually from Wednesday to Friday. Rusty takes the front half. I take the back half. I'm with Evan Hayes on No Bluffing right now until Chris Ingram gets back after the new year. And post-game bounces, man. I have all post-game bounces every single this week. So
yep, you're on every one of them. Shout out to you, man. You are awesome. Listen, I love that you're with us, man. I love that you came in the comment section, offered a lot in the comment section. You became friends with Rusty and Drew and Wayno and Luke and kind of connected with all of us. And now you're on College Football Saturdays with us. You're on Post Game Bounces with us. You're on Daily Grind with us. Shout out to you, bro. You're the man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Hey, listen, we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Anthony Sain show. Anthony will be back, but thank you all for listening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to the Bluff City Media YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.